you're approaching retirement, then one of the questions likely on your mind is, how much am I going to be able to spend in retirement? Today, we'll be going over what you need to answer this question, and we'll also be sharing some useful tools so that you can figure this out. Alright, so where do we start? So this is an exercise that we like to go through with our clients. So we have a triangle, and at the very top of the triangle, we need to figure out your timeline. So when would you ideally like to retire? 1 year, 3 years from now, 5 years from now? For the sake of this example, let's just say that you want to retire in 2 years. So now we have our timeline, but we also need to assume a life expectancy. So in most cases, we use age 90, but you can use a higher number or a lower number, depending on what you feel is your life expectancy. Now on the bottom left of the triangle, we need to figure out what sources of income that you're going to have in retirement and what assets you're going to have access to. So things like CPP, old age security, possibly you've saved some money in tax-free savings account, RRSPs, a pension, you might have some equity in your home or business or rental property, you might be receiving inheritance, so on and so forth. So just looking at all the assets and income sources that you can expect to have in retirement. And at the bottom right of the triangle, we have our expected rate of return. So how do we feel our assets are going to grow over time? So investments, properties, so on and so forth. So once you have the 3 points of the triangle, you can actually put this information together to figure out what you're going to be able to spend in retirement. But how do you actually do this for yourself? You know when you want to retire, you know what sources of income and assets that you're going to have in retirement, and you have a reasonable rate of return projected for those assets. How do you put all this together for yourself to figure out what you're on track for? Unfortunately, when it comes to building out your own financial plan, there aren't many software options available in Canada. So what can you do? Your first option is to use the 4% rule. Before we get into what this actually is, I like to preface things by saying this is not something I would ever recommend anyone to do. The 4% rule is a popular rule of thumb that helps you determine what you can safely withdraw from your portfolio in retirement. The rule states that you should be able to withdraw 4% of your retirement portfolio in your first year of retirement, and then your subsequent withdrawals every year go up with inflation. So let's say that you have $1 million portfolio. In your first year of retirement, you could withdraw $40,000. Now let's say that inflation was 5% for that year, then the following year you could withdraw $42,000 from your portfolio. Now the problem with any rule of thumb is that they're overly generic. If someone is invested conservatively and someone else is invested aggressively, then their outcomes might be drastically different by using this strategy. Additionally, the rule doesn't take into consideration taxes. Should you be withdrawing from your RSPs or your TFSA, the rule does us no help here. I would give this first option a score of 1 out of 10. Your second option is that you can build out your own plan, but this can be very time consuming. I've met with many retirees who have mapped out their retirement using a program like Excel. Although it's better than nothing, there are a lot of landmines to avoid when using this approach. As soon as you enter in one formula that's wrong, or you fail to take into consideration one variable like inflation or taxes, then the plan goes off the deep end real quick. If done properly, then I'd say this is a 7 out of 10 option. But if done incorrectly, it's a 1 out of 10. So let's average it out as a 4 out of 10 option for your planning needs. The third way to do it yourself is to use an advanced calculator. Although not as customizable as advanced planning software, this can really take care of the basics that you need. If you'd like access to an advanced calculator, then check out the link below. But as mentioned, this will take care of the basics, but it won't be a 100% refined plan. With the advanced calculator, I would give this option a 6 out of 10. The fourth option is to use the help of a certified financial planner. A certified financial planner will have access to top-of-the-line planning software that takes into account all kinds of variables such as inflation and taxes and is extremely customizable to your needs. However, not all certified financial planners are created equally. Everyone who plays in the NHL is considered an NHL player, but we know there's a big difference between Connor McDavid and someone who's on the fourth line. So just because someone is a certified financial planner, it doesn't mean that they're the right person for your planning needs. If you have a big tax problem, then you need to find a planner that specializes in tax minimization. So on and so forth with whatever your needs are. If you have the right planner, I would give this option a 10 out of 10, but if your planner is not suited for your needs, I would give this option a 5 out of 10. One of the most crucial components of figuring out how much you're going to be able to spend in retirement is which accounts should you be pulling from first. If you would like help in this area, then check out our retirement withdrawal questionnaire in the link below. It takes about 5 minutes to complete, and I will send you your very own personalized video with some retirement withdrawal strategies. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you next time.